All right, let me share my screen and we are going to get rocking and rolling. Today, bonus session for the One Deal a Week June challenge. And I want to unpack a whole bunch of examples and case studies of using the reverse offer strategy and the One Deal a Week blueprint and turning that into client opportunities. And sometimes it's listings, sometimes there's other opportunities. It works with expired, with for sale by owner, with tired landlords, with pre-foreclosure, with unconverted database seller leads. There are lots and lots and lots of examples of how you can use this. And I want to unpack and give you very specific examples of it in real life so that you can model it in as many ways possible. So let me grab my screen here. And actually, hold on, before I share my screen, one last thing I need to take care of. We're getting so close here, folks. My apologies. Thanks for your patience. And let's do that right there. Perfect. Okay. So whoops. The weird reverse offer strategy with bottom of funnel sellers. Now, not all of these examples are bottom of funnel sellers, but you'll get the idea as we go through. This works with expired, for sale by owners, old dead seller leads, tired landlords, pre-foreclosures, and the list goes on and on and on. It works if you do the work. This is an example literally from last week while I was in the car on the way to my youngest daughter's soccer tournament in Connecticut, Simsbury, Connecticut. Beautiful place, beautiful place. I'm in the car. We carpooled with another one of Tegan's teammates. And we were, saving gas and saving a little money on hotel rooms. And I figured I'm gonna be productive while I'm on the way. And I was testing out a different hook for a mortgage buddy of mine. And so the initial offer I was making was around no doc refi options. Okay. So I illustrate this to illustrate the point that this reverse offer strategy has lots of ways that you can kind of navigate it, right? It's about making offers to specific, strategic, likely buyers and or sellers to get conversations so we can connect with them, to see if there's an opportunity to contract with them so we can get to the closing table and we can be compensated. Okay? Hey, Jeff, looks like you're a pretty active investor here in Montco, Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. We have some interesting no-doc refi options available right now. Would you be totally opposed to getting a quick quote on a cash-out refi for a street address? Please let me know either way. He says, I'm not interested. And I might say, oh, well, that stinks. Now what? That's not what I did, though. I said, thanks for confirming. Any properties in your portfolio that you might consider an offer on? Now, how can I ask that question? Because Jeff, the guy that I was reaching out to, is an active landlord, which means, actually, well, here's what it means, and then I'll tie this back to last week if you've been participating the whole time. Jeff is an active landlord buyer, which means he owns at least 5 properties. So he's a portfolio buyer. Remember last week we talked about pocket buyers, right? These are the buyers that you have in your pocket. And it was one of the exercises from day one was to start identifying the pocket buyers that you have. They might be retail buyers. They might be investor buyers. Oh, by the way, this is great. Oh, by the way, literally right before hopping on here, which is one of the reasons why it took a little bit longer for me to knock out the housekeeping on us. Literally right before hopping on here, I had a Zoom call with Kelly, who had put down a security deposit on one of the July One Deal a Week Accelerator program spots. And so we had our strategy call to see if this was a good fit, and it made sense for her. She last week, she participated and she actually implemented. She grabbed the cash buyers that we gave away last week. The cash buyers are portfolio buyers that own at least 5 properties. and bought at least one in cash in whatever zip code you choose. She got her cash buyers, and she made a list of pocket buyers that she had gotten on a recent listing. That was the reason that gave her the confidence and the competence to then reach out to pre-foreclosure leads that we gave you on the last day, on day 3. And she uncovered and has an appointment with a pre-foreclosure lead this week. So like, this stuff can happen fast if you actually do the work. Anyway, active landlord buyer Jeff. He owns at least 5 properties. So I know he's got a portfolio of properties. So I can ask him this question. Any properties in your current portfolio that you might consider an offer on? He replies with an address. Literally just gave me the address. Got it. I'll put together some preliminary numbers and get back with you ASAP. Any idea how much you're looking to get for it? And is it currently rented? 2 units, both rented. Rents are blah, blah, blah. Got 5 minutes for a quick chat tomorrow morning just to confirm some info. Sure, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I could do 8:30 or 10:45 because Tegan's soccer game was at 9. We ended up chatting at 11:30. Great guy, gave me the details. And now I have off-market bait that I can use the blueprint with to reach out to more of the active landlord buyers in this zip code about a fully rented 2-unit income property. And I would have done that today if it weren't for these darn kids. Because the kids during the summer, they keep me busy. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be doing outreach on that, either in the morning or when I'm in the car going to the next summer adventure for the next sporting event. Whew. I didn't even have that much caffeine. I don't know why I'm so wound up. I missed the Lead Deck World headquarters because Sean's been gone, so I haven't been here. Anyway, so we had a great conversation with Jeff. I now have off-market bait. I'm going to use that as a reason to have conversations with the active landlord buyers, and one thing will lead to another. I will create a transaction, a contract out of thin air from work, sitting in the passenger seat of the car, because I've got my own vehicle, this thing. I'm the driver. I've got Lead Deck as the outreach engine. I just got to put some fuel in the car. Here's Jana. Jana is one of our June 1 Deal a Week Accelerator Program participants. Jana has already gotten a whole bunch of opportunity. She's put a whole bunch of opportunity in her pipeline. This is one, which, by the way, I don't even have the subject line in here, but the subject line was, I got kind of a win from a tired landlord with an involuntary lien. She said, I called about a tired landlord property. And that's just one of the filters in Lead Deck. So she just literally filtered the area that she was looking for motivated sellers in, and she just filtered for tired landlord, which, by the way, one of the best audiences there is. In fact, CJ, who's not in here right now, he called a tired landlord back in January or February, said, you're still accepting offers on the property. They were never accepting offers, but she was like, well, we're not accepting offers on this one, but we got 5 others that we want to sell. I now have them listed. 3 of them are under contract. 2 of them are under contract. We're negotiating the 3rd contract. One of them we've been holding off on because it's vacant and renovated. It'll sell in a weekend using my 7-day stress-free home sale, which, by the way, look at this guy. Look at this. 7-day stress-free home sale playbook. Stuart, are you jealous right now? I might send you this copy, Stuart. I'm going to use that. With that, I just have to wait until we got the one that we're negotiating, and we got one more that we need to get under contract. We'll run that playbook. Then we'll have all 5 under contract. We'll settle on them all, and they're trading their 5 greenhouses for a red hotel. Man, I'm getting all over the place here. Back to Jana. I called about a tired landlord property. The seller said no, but they had a $1.5 million they want to sell, although he is, I guess, having a tenant move in, or potentially a tenant move in. He wasn't sure if he wanted to sell the $1.5 million and buy in Lake Lanier, blah, blah, blah. Here's the point of this conversation. From one tired landlord, Jana uncovered the potential for multiple transactions. $1.5 million listing, and he would want to trade that for another Airbnb property on the lake. He also is looking to grow, either start or grow a Section 8 portfolio from one conversation with a tired landlord. One. Now, she has since texted me. She's working on a couple of others. We were game planning for a couple of other scenarios that she had on our accelerator group coaching call earlier. But that was from one of the conversations. One. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean kind of a win? Now, that is effectively, I don't have that Deal Sprint workbook. But those were effectively implementing our Deal Sprint workbook, which is the one deal a week blueprint that we were unpacking last week. It's finding bait, using that as a reason to reach out, and then turning those conversations into either offers on the bait or making other offers for potential contracts. And this playbook is one of the playbooks that you get access to if you're interested in joining our accelerator program, which I'm going to cover at the end for those who might be interested. Now, David just this weekend joined our July One Deal a Week Accelerator group. David is one of our Founders Club members. So we hooked him up with a sweet deal on the accelerator program, but he got signed up and we've already started his integrations and setup. Now, this is a text that he sent me about an expired listing, which, by the way, look at this. Look at this guy right here. I mean, this is a beautiful thing. Look at this expired playbook. I mean, come on. What are we talking about? Doesn't sound so tired, Joe said. Yeah, well, he's just getting started, I guess. Okay, so this is the conversation from David. I've been using LeadDeck to contact expireds. In fact, David was part of the inspiration for this expired playbook. I got a response about what's the offer, and I didn't answer immediately, not because I didn't want to, just I didn't get to him fast enough. So he texted me back. So the expired texted him back. Don't let that happen, though. Okay, don't drop the ball. But he got lucky here. He said, "Are you still interested in this?" I said, "Yeah." Now, why did this expired text David back? Because David led with an offer. He led with an offer. Okay. He said, "Yeah, possibly." And I said, I needed to get over and take a look at the property. So I did that here about an hour and a half ago. All to say, when I got him on the phone and asked him what he was going to do with the property, and we finished discussing what he wanted for the property, we were literally saying our goodbyes. And I said, "Oh, by the way, you don't have anything else you have that you might want to sell as well." He goes, "Well, there's 5 acres directly behind that house you went and saw today that I would be interested in selling. And oh yeah, there's a dental office that I've had for a pretty good while that I might be interested in selling as well." He said, "Josh, I almost forgot to ask him that, and I wouldn't have uncovered those other 2 really good deals." We've got to ask the question. Whether we're talking to listing agents about the deals that we identified, that we talked about on the very first day of the challenge last Tuesday, we don't want to hang out with listing agents without asking them, "Hey, do you have any other on-market or off-market properties that could be a good deal for an investor?" Or we're talking to the portfolio buyers. We gave you 5 free. Maverick on our last challenge, the May challenge, got the 5 free cash buyer leads, turned that into 2 potential clients because he asked the question at the end, "Do you have anything in your current portfolio," just like I did right here, "any properties in your current portfolio that you might consider an offer on, or any other properties," in David's case, because he was contacting about an expired listing. That one expired turned into 3 potential transactions. Not all go for it, but it just goes to show that you make sure you ask those questions before you hang up the phone, and you never know what you're going to uncover. Because I almost had to catch my mouth as it hit the floor when he said he had the 5 acres behind the house that's basically commercial, and he had the dentist office he was thinking about selling. Just have conversations. The reverse offer strategy gives you reasons to have conversations, Because if you have more conversations, you will write more contracts, you will close more transactions. And then you'll close the gap that we identified with the activity on day 2. Where you're at, where you're trying to get to, we need to bridge that gap. This is one way that we do it. Now, we have an entire ecosystem that we build out for you if you're interested in the accelerator program, but this is just one of those strategies. And again, that's the expired playbook. Now, Stephanie. I talked about Stephanie on day 2 or day 1. I don't even remember. And the reason I'm bringing this one back up is because this started with her hand-picking expired listings. So she hand-picked a couple of expired listings, and she reached out to them using this guy right here, asking a very simple question. Are you still accepting offers for the property at street address? One of those hand-picked expired listings was a 4-unit. And after I convinced Stephanie to stop judging whether or not it was good bait and just use it as a reason to reach out to the active multifamily buyers in her market, she took that one expired listing that was still open to an offer and turned it into a whole pipeline full of propertunities. Propertunities. Now, the full video breakdown is in the challenge classroom, or maybe it's in the community tag to One Deal a Week. But you can hear in her words the story. How she was procrastinating, she didn't feel well, she waited the whole day, and then she called four multifamily buyers, which is just another one of the buckets of portfolio buyers that you have access to in the accelerator program. She reached out to 4 of them. She talked to 3 of them. And one thing led to another. She had a whole pipeline full of opportunities. You can go check that out if you haven't already in the group. I love these infographics. So I just put it on full screen. I mean, these are just, they're so good. They're so good. Karita participated in last month's challenge. She said, I got a listing from your advice on how to approach for sale by owners. I brought them the buyer, in other words, reverse offer strategy, right? Because look, let's face it, for sale by owner, expired, tired landlord, pre-foreclosure, seller in your database, whoever, if they're thinking about selling their property, what they want is an offer, not a listing agent. They want an offer. Bring them what they want. And then, if and when appropriate, you can always provide them what they actually need, okay? I brought them the buyer and decided to let me list, and I'm helping the seller with their next home that they are purchasing. 3 transactions. Wow, thanks, Josh. Not too shabby, but it gets better because, my goodness, the listing appointment went well. I have 4 listings coming in July. 4. Not too shabby. Not too shabby by Karita, just using our FSBO Fast Track playbook and the reverse offer strategy, which is another one of the playbooks that you get access to when you join the accelerator program. Now, Brianna, I sent this out this weekend. And if you missed it, let me see if I can get the, hold on. I'll give you the Loom video. I'm going to drop that in the chat. If you missed it, Brianna, on day 1 of the VIP, on day 1 of our VIP hangout, she casually shared how she had picked up 15 million in listing volume in just a couple of months since implementing the blueprint and strategy that this whole challenge is built around. The whole thing. So much so that she inspired another one of our playbooks, which is the magic number playbook, which is right here, okay? Not too shabby. Not too shabby. 15 million in listing volume in just a couple of months from one of the playbooks. Now, this is Garland. Garland is on the left here. He is one of our June one deal a week accelerator program folks. And he said, I'm getting great response from the list we imported. I have a Zoom meeting scheduled for this afternoon for the 500K listing. What 500K listing? I said, one I'm going after today. Was that one that came from the reactivation list, or was that something else you were working on? It was from the reactivation list, which is our magic number playbook. We take the old unconverted leads that are just sitting, collecting dust in your CRM or in your, in your inbox, and we reactivate them. Kelly, who I had the call with earlier, that's going to be the first thing we run with her when she joins the group for July. Fernando, another one of our June one deal a week accelerator program folks, said, it's working. If you have an offer, please send it. He said, okay, let me put some preliminary numbers together and get back to you. Now, he wasn't even exactly running the play that we designed for him, but it still worked, right? Because you can't say the wrong thing to the right person or the right thing to the wrong person. Okay? We get so in our heads, and we spook ourselves out. If you just talk to more people, especially people that you know are more likely to want and or need your help and service, who want and are need to open to an offer, whatever you may be bringing them, an offer on their property or a property that they might want to offer on, when you do that strategically, even if you're not perfectly scripted, good stuff happens because you can't say the wrong thing to the right person or the right thing to the wrong person. This is a post I shared in the community probably 2 weeks ago now, maybe a little more than 2 weeks ago. My 19-year-old Caden, who actually, he was the one that I forgot these, and I wanted to show these today, and I forgot them. He drove them over to the office, and Sean was like, bro, you need to get him a bigger car. My man's huge. Anyway, he's home from school. He's recovering from a shoulder injury, and he's bored. He's doing rehab, but a lot of downtime. And we went and created him a lead deck account. I loaded up some unconverted seller leads that had been sitting untouched in my CRM. And I kind of kiddingly said something about calling him or calling them, and he like freaked out, and it seemed as though it was like I had asked him to wrestle a bear or something crazy, Anyway, he's 19, has no experience. I said, no, I'm just kidding. You can just text and call them. I'm sorry, text and email them, which, by the way, works great. That works. It's super effective with the bottom of funnel leads, just texting and emailing as a way to initiate. Now, eventually we need to pivot to a phone conversation, but we can start the conversation by text and or email, and then we can connect with them through phone call, just like I did with Jeff at the very beginning here. Right? It started with an email, and then we had a phone conversation. Now I've got off-market bait. I've got this 2-unit fully rented. It's great bait. And I'm going to turn that. I'm going to use the blueprint and use that as the thing that I'm going to offer the active landlord buyers, which will get me more conversations, which will yield me more contracts and closings. Anyway, he texted and emailed the 35 leads. Here are some of the conversations. He got 6 or 7 replies. Most of them positive or giving some sort of number, which again, the magic number playbook. One of them, which he got a great laugh. One of them texted back pretty late at night. I mean, not like super late, but like at 9:30. And they were like, I don't know. They were hating on me because the script that he used was slightly different. It was, hi, this is Caden I'm reaching out on behalf of Josh Shanley with eXp Realty. And so the one guy was, I don't know, he was, who is this Josh guy and what does he want and so forth. And he thought that was hilarious. Well, we've got all these examples, right? And we've got these playbooks, and you can take any one of these and run them at any time to get you more conversations, which we can turn into more contracts and more closings. But what if we could personalize these playbooks specifically for you and your real estate business and your current assets that you have? So let me give you an example of what that looks like. This is Cindy and Anthony Lockhart. They joined the One Deal a Week Accelerator Program for June. A couple of weeks ago on our group coaching Zoom, Cindy shared that she took a listing already. She took a listing already just from the seller reactivation playbook. This is the personalized playbook we put together for Cindy and Anthony. This is a combination of an intake form that we have when you enroll and our strategy call. And so we detailed out how many contacts in their Lofty CRM, how many seller leads or property owners in the database, which, by the way, they took a list. They had 32 of those. One of those has already turned into a signed listing contract. And also, this is wild. They got $1,000 non-refundable fee, program fee from this listing. They want to work pre-foreclosures. So we found that there's 192 pre-foreclosures in Sarasota, which is their primary market. We're going to work 100 or more expired listings, and they've got their credits. And then we go and build out, using all of our best practices, their personalized playbook. This is specific for them and their market, their business, and what they're trying to do. Detailed step by step. This we build out for you if and when you decide to join our accelerator program, which I'm going to take. Let me know. Give me a Y in the chat if it'd be okay if I take 10 minutes and I'll walk you through what we're doing with the accelerator program, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A. So let me know with a Y in the chat if you'd be okay. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate that. If I take a few minutes and walk through, Stuart, thank you. Jeff, thank you. So I'm going to walk you through how you can get this personalized playbook. If I can find the right window. There we go. I'm going to walk you through what that looks like and how we go about building your personalized playbook and what else is included. So it's the One Deal a Week Accelerator Program. And the next group officially starts on July 6th. However, the goal is for those of you that take action and get enrolled today is we're going to help you win well before we actually officially start. And no matter where you're at, no matter what assets you have or don't have currently, we're going to get into action implementing this 3-step blueprint and the reverse offer strategy for you in your market. So knowing the system and running the thing are two different things. And actually, hold on. I got the wrong slide deck up here. So bear with me for a minute. I need to find my edited slide deck. So your patience, please, while I find the right one that we can walk through here. So where did that go? That is... Well, I'm just going to have to roll with this one. So here's how this works, okay? And the truth behind this. Knowing the concepts and actually running the plays and implementing the systems are two very different things. And most agents who come to a challenge or a webinar like this, they get all fired up and life gets in the way. And their old leads get ignored because nobody's in charge of reactivating them. They're going it alone, which means they have to figure it out every step of the way. And the tech stack sort of sits there unconnected. The leads are untouched, and without a deal moving and momentum being created, nothing actually gets built. And there's no accountability, so things don't actually get off the ground. But with the One Deal a Week Accelerator program, we combine done with you and done for you to ensure your success. In other words, to do everything possible, not just to ensure that you're going to win, but to ensure that you literally can't lose, that you're going to win no matter what happens. In week 1, we're going to reactivate your old unconverted leads. Before we go and find any new leads, we're going to mine what you already have. The buyers and sellers sitting in your database, the ones that are, forgotten but not dead. And we're going to filter, sort, and get them back in play. We're going to re-engage them. We're going to reactivate them. We'll sort and filter the entire database, buyers and sellers, and we have 2 different sort of plays or playbooks for those. And we're going to identify strategically who is still in the market and worth connecting with today. We'll make your first reactivation sort of outreach with help and support on live sessions. And you're going to walk out with deals in motion, conversations happening and potential contracts like Fernando, like Garland, like Cindy, like Jana, like Shannon. Conversations, potential contracts before we even actually officially start. Now, if you don't have unconverted leads, we've got you covered, because we've got other ways and strategies to find, for example, old expired leads right in your MLS. That's what we'll use. We'll reactivate. They're old dead leads. They're just not yours specifically. And we can mine those on your behalf. In week two, we're going to work on executing and working live deals. So you're in conversations, you're having those, you're doing the outreach, you're connecting, you're presenting offer options, you're using the reverse offer strategy on real deals, and we're going to walk you through next best step and how to handle each of those scenarios. Not theoretically, what would happen here, but actual deals, because you're already in conversations. So we're doing real world examples, and we're going to turn those live conversations from week 1 into the content to help you connect the dots and see how all of this works. We're going to present the offer options that we talked about in day 3 of the challenge, and bring your active deals so we can get feedback, next best step, work on proposals, whatever we may need to do. In week 2, we can also start drawing on your 500 credit lead bank to fill in any of the gaps in your pipeline, any of those gaps that we may have identified. In week 3, we're building out automation. We're going to start to build or make progress on building in all the automation so you can spend the majority of your time doing what you are most effective or what is the most effective time spent for you, which is more conversations, right? So you don't have to worry about the technology stuff. We're dialing in the workflows, the follow-up sequences, the automations within Lead Deck, so leads and opportunities aren't falling through the cracks. The system's running even when you're not at your desk because you're out on appointments. You're connecting with the old unconverted sellers, with the for sale by owners, with the expireds, with the pre-foreclosures, with the tired landlords, with the active landlord buyers, whoever that may be, whoever we identify in your personalized playbook. While you're doing that, the system continues to work on your behalf. We'll integrate with your primary CRM of choice, whatever that may be. If it's Bold Trail, if it's Lofty, if it's Follow Up Boss, if it's Wise Agent, if it's Real Scout, if you've got a proprietary one, whatever it is, as long as it has API or Zapier access, we integrate it and set it up as part of the bigger ecosystem of how all of this plays together. We configure your mailer triggers through Thanks.io. So we have that targeted, motivated seller outreach and the monthly market report for your existing SOI and past client. And your pipeline is running at all times in the background. So you can focus on closing, right? And getting compensated and getting more of those contracts, not chasing or trying to convince unmotivated buyers and or sellers. Week 4 is about leverage and scaling what works, and also your daily, weekly, and monthly cadence, the things that you're going to do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, so that we can not just fill that, cross the gap once, but that we can make sure that we that gap, once we cover it, is we're no longer in the feast and famine cycle, right? We abort that forever. So we're going to identify the lead sources and conversations that are working best for you, and we're going to double down on those. We're going to squeeze out more from those opportunities. We're going to add in additional lead sources as necessary, and we're going to build your buyer list and your pipeline even deeper, so you always have, like, literally, this happened for me last week. I was doing a little case study for sale by owners in my market. I just randomly grabbed 30 for sale by owners, and started doing outreach using the reverse offer strategy and the FSBO playbook. And already one of those I have under contract. We're under contract on one of the for sale by owners. Less than a week later, we were under contract the same week. Why? Because I already had the buyer. As I had the conversation with the for sale by owner and I connected with them, and I was looking at the property, I realized this would be perfect for so-and-so. I sent it. He said, like, literally, let's go. Let's write it up. And we're under contract. We're settling on July 2nd. We ordered the title work and everything this morning. You're going to lead with a system that runs not just one deal, but a repeatable, predictable process for building your pipeline and keeping your pipeline full and deep with opportunity. So here's everything that is included with the Accelerator program. Number one, the 4 weeks of live group coaching starting July 6th. That is a value of $3,997. You get the 500 leads added to your lead bank. All of those have full property details, owner details, and contact information. Robust. And in most cases, multiple phone numbers, multiple emails, everything you need to know how to have the conversation, what questions to ask, how to make the pivot, all of that in there for you, including on the seller side, the seller signal, which is, it takes into account over 800 data points on over 11 million properties and scores them from 0 to 100. You get the playbooks. Right? So you get the expired leads playbook. You get the 7-day stress-free home sale playbook, the for sale by owner fast track playbook. And we are adding to those playbooks each and every month. The next playbook coming soon is the Deal of the Week email playbook. The Deal of the Week email playbook. Each of those are field tested. It's what's working right now. The examples and case studies that I shared, all of those tie back to one or more of those specific playbooks for you. The value of those is easily $300 per playbook. 7 of them, $2,100 all told. You get the Pro Tools and all of our AI workflows built right into LeadDeck and the full ecosystem. LeadDeck tied to your CRM, tied to Thanks.io, tied to your premium Fast Cash Offers enterprise account as well. You get the white glove done for you system setup. We are working on David's this week, and Ken's this week, and Aaron's this week, and Kelly's this week, and I forget who else. Getting all of that set up for them so they don't have to worry about the tech overwhelm, right? The brain damage that comes from all of that stuff. We take that and do that for you. You'll also get mastermind access, our LeadDeck Lab Mastermind, which is or has previously been reserved for our Founders Club only. You get access to that during your program during the month of July as well, a value of $1,997. Priority support, which is direct access to Sean and I during the program. At the end of our time together, we're going to take this personalized playbook and we're going to stretch it out and build you a 90-day listing machine roadmap. So we're going to stretch that out and here's what we did to reactivate and sort of like spark things and get the ball rolling. And now what are we going to do repeatedly, daily, weekly, and monthly so we can make those results predictable and repeatable. You'll also be getting a private agent community access. So we have a private community just for our accelerator participants and our Founders Club members, and you're getting access to that as well. It's also where we will house the replays of our group coaching call and the additional resources that we promise and build out each and every week. And then lastly, you get a free ticket to live in-person implementation workshop, the first of which is going to be in September in the Harrisburg area. The exact dates and location TBD, but it will be in September, in the middle of September. I think we're targeting like the 15th and 16th, something like that. And it will be in the Harrisburg area. We anticipate having 3 of those over the next 12 months. Your free ticket is good for those. You can use it on any of those in that 12-month window. And the value on that is $997. The total value of the accelerated program, $19,076, but you're obviously not going to pay anywhere near that when you get enrolled today. So here's how we're ensuring that you can't lose, Number one, your personal blueprint, okay? Before week 1 even starts, we're going to get the one-on-one call. You're going to complete the intake form covering your goals, your market, existing assets, and all of that. And we build you this custom playbook specific to you that tells you exactly what to do, what to say, and who to call and text and email. From that, we build that out. You get the transcribed transcription of our strategy call and the video replay. And this is your 30-day action plan. So you don't have to guess, you just execute. And you walk away with the specific leads that you're going to reach out to, the scripts to use, and all of that before we even get started on July 6th. You follow the 30-day plan, and then we're going to extend that out as we work through. So it takes it from a 30-day plan to a quarter plan, a 90-day plan of action for you. Number 2, everything's already up and running. So we're going to set up everything for you so you don't have to worry about the brain damage part of this, right? The stuff that overwhelms all of us, myself included, right? So your premium fast cash offers account connected to Lead Deck, connected to Thanks.io, connected to your CRM. And you can see offers on any property inside the tool. You also will be able to capture more traffic from your website. And we have a specific monthly playbook that you're going to use this as the synthesis or the genesis. And that one playbook alone has gotten me 4 additional listings over the last 6 or so months from like 1 hour per month. So in 6 hours or less, that has turned into 4 more listings for me. We set up and integrate your Thanks.io mailing account connected, where you can literally from 2 taps be sending a direct mail sequence or a single direct mail piece without any separate logins or anything like that. We do the direct integration with Zapier or on a webhook, where you can push the leads that you've connected with from Lead Deck into your CRM or into direct mail, any and everything. It's a complete ecosystem. We get your existing leads imported into Lead Deck. So your unconverted seller leads, or if you're working expired, because that's part of your personalized playbook, or you're working for sale by owners, whatever the case may be, we get it loaded up, we build out the account, we make sure all of the pre-populated scripts are done and ready to go. So all you have to do is log in, start the car, and start tapping. Number 3, the 500 lead credits in your lead bank, preloaded, so you pull what you need when you need it. You can draw from them at any point. You can pull motivated sellers, cash buyers, landlord buyers, multifamily buyers, vacant land buyers. We have a couple of our June participants that have vacant land that they're looking for buyers for, and we've got that built in there. That's one of the portfolio buyer buckets that you can get access to. Every lead includes the full property information, the owner information, contact info, and a whole lot more. The credits don't expire. You draw whenever you need them, okay? Whenever you need them. This is going to tell you who you should be using those on after we squeeze out everything we can without ever even dipping into the lead bank. You get the Lead Deck Pro tools and the AI workflows. So everything under the sun, under one roof, right? You can pull leads directly in. The integration with Fast Cash Offers, the integration with Thanks.io, the integration with your CRM, and all of the AI workflows that Sean has built into this tool. You get the Founders Club Mastermind access. So those happen Tuesdays at 1 Eastern. You're going to get that for 4 weeks. Those have been reserved for our Founders Club members. This is for people that are already having success, like people like Brianna, who on day one of the VIP Hangout, she shared 15 million in listing volume that she picked up in the last couple of months using the blueprint and these strategies. 80% of this is structured training on what needs to be in place to execute, and 20% is live problem solving, actual deals that are happening, brainstorming, masterminding, etc. Next week is a deep dive on the deal of the week email system. Okay, so you have that to look forward to as well. You can bring your deals, get real-time feedback from people that are already sort of ahead of you in this process and have success and experience of using that as well. You get the 7 playbooks. Again, I've got a couple of them here for you, but you get all 7. You get the Deal Sprint playbook, the FSBO playbook, our free social media lead gen playbook, the Listing Sprint playbook, a magic number playbook, the expired playbook, and the 7-day stress-free home sale. We continue to add to those as well. As I mentioned, the deal of the week email playbook is coming very soon as well. You get direct access to us, text, email, whatever you need, as well as the community where you can get answers from not just Sean and I, but others who are participating, who may have a different perspective, a different market, etc. And a rising tide raises all ships. So everybody working together, everybody holding each other accountable, sharing their successes, sharing their setbacks, so that we can all help each other win and win faster than ever. You're taking this this personalized plan and then extending it out as we work towards the end of it, so you don't have to wonder, what do I do now that the 4 weeks are over? You will have a plan of attack. And again, you will leave with, here's what I do daily, here's what I do weekly, here's what I do monthly, to keep my pipeline full and to keep growing steadily over time. You can join us in person. Fall 2026. We're going to be, as I said, in Harrisburg. Middle of September is what we're targeting. We're going to offer 3 of these over the next 12 months. You get a free ticket over that 12 months. You don't have to come this fall. If you can't make it, we'll take care of you one way or the other. Now, here's our promise to you. We're calling this the Deal Done Guarantee. You complete the 4-week accelerator program. You implement the system. You take action, right? You use the strategies. You implement the blueprint. If you don't have a deal under contract by the end of week 4, we stay with you for free until you do. There's no expiration on this. There's no sort of, we don't set a clock on your success. We stay and work with you until the deal is done. There's no fine print, no gotchas. The guarantee means exactly what it says. We have skin in the game because we don't get to call this a win until you do. And that's the way we like it. Now, here are your options. I mentioned already the investment is obviously nowhere near $19,076. Okay. Although it would be well worth it if we do fulfill on the goal here, which is help you bridge the gap that we identified in day 2. It would be well worth it even at that, but it's nowhere near that. There are a couple of different options or paths. You can make a deposit today to hold your spot of $297. And then you can either schedule a time like Kelly and Aaron did today. I mean, you don't have to schedule it today, but Kelly and Aaron, they put down their deposit. They scheduled the time. We mapped out the plan for them, and now they are proceeding. You can pay in full with one payment of $2,700, or you can spread it out on a 3-pay plan. It's 3 times $997. First payment when we get started. The second payment 30 days from that, and the third payment 60 days. That's path A. Path B is you can choose PayPal. You can choose PayPal. And if you qualify, which Sean and I have unfortunately no control over that, but if you qualify, there are 4 options with PayPal. You can pay in full, you can pay in 4 payments, you can get 12 months financing, and you can get 6-month interest-free financing. Again, we don't control whether or not you qualify, but that is an option if you do. Now, to check out and confirm all the information and details, you're going to go to leaddeck.ai/go. Leaddeck.ai/go. That's where you can put down your deposit, or that's path A, or path B, you can explore the PayPal financing option. You're going to choose your payment plan on the next page, and then we're going to reach out and schedule your done with you setup. We need the intake information. We'll hop on a call, confirm some details and information so we can get to work as quickly as possible on a couple of different things. Number 1, your personalized playbook. Number 2, the done for you setup and implementation. And number 3, helping you win before we even get started on July 6th officially for the group. Okay. Now, questions about the accelerator program, or anything for that matter that we covered in the challenge, or from the case studies, or anything as it relates to this blueprint and reverse offer strategy. Quiet group today. Mine isn't scroll brown. We'll get you one. I'm gonna send you one of these, Stuart. One of these. I forget what this binding is called, but we're gonna get you one of these for sure. Kathy, I'd like to implement this in my new area of Arizona, but I don't have the client base yet. Well, that is easily addressed, because we would build the way we would think about building your playbook would be based around other bottom of funnel seller opportunities versus your existing unconverted database, because you don't have one there yet. So where we would go, Kathy, in your case, is we would look at older expired listings. So think Q3, Q4, even Q1, Q3 and Q4 of 2025 and Q1 of 2026. We might even, depending on the target area, we might even go back farther and look at all of 2025. So that would be first and foremost. Number 2, we would look at for sale by owner activity, and there may or may not be much of that in your market, but sometimes we can generate some opportunities from that. And then number 3 place that we would go is pre-foreclosures in your market, and we'd use the reverse offer strategy with all of those, so we can get some conversations going. We can uncover off-market bait that you can start to use, and then eventually pivot to listing them on the open market, which in most cases, for most people, is their best option. So I would love to explore in more detail, Kathy, if you're open to that. But that's how we would think about that for folks that don't already have, in your case, moving to a new market, you don't already have an existing database. We've had some newer agents. Karen Stewart is one of our June accelerator program participants, and she is a newer agent in a market where she doesn't really know anyone. And so we built her playbook, her personalized playbook, around expired listings and for sale by owners, and having conversations with those folks to uncover who is still thinking about or accepting offers, so that we can then turn those into opportunities. And she's having a ton of success thus far. And Stuart says, no worries, my 3-ring binder works great. All right, so I'm going to drop the link one more time for those who are interested. You can put down a deposit to hold your spot, schedule a time, pick your payment plan, and let's get you rolling this week. The program starts on July 6th, but the goal is to have everyone winning before we officially start. And to do that, we need you to take action, so we can get the ball rolling, so we can start building out the personalized playbook for you, so we can start building out the the ecosystem and the done for you piece of this, and we can get you into conversations so that we can get you writing contracts and closing, just like, Cindy and Anthony, they've already got a signed listing agreement, and other conversations underway as well. Thanks so much, everybody. Oh, Jeff, this is a great question. This is not a program where there's only one agent that can work any given area. In other words, we can take this anywhere, 100%. I think what you're saying is this is not a market exclusive type of program. And also with LeadDeck, you get access to data anywhere and everywhere. So, it's all 50 states, every zip code, every city, every county. And we don't put geographic limitations on this for you, because in part, there's more than enough opportunity to go around, no matter where you're at or who you're at. For example, Stuart and Campbell, who are two of our longtime Founders Club members, longtime meeting like since December. But they're collaborating, and Stuart had closed a transaction on Friday that was a referral from Campbell. Kathy, so Kathy asked, is this a monthly subscription? This is a one-time fee for the accelerator program. After the program, to continue with the entire ecosystem that we set up, which is the LeadDeck Pro account fully unlocked. It's the Thanks.io business plan comped. So that is normally $50 per month, and it's comped for you. And the Fast Cash Offers premium account, which is a $97 value, that is $300 or $299 per month. No contracts or long-term commitments, and that doesn't start until in this case for the July group, that would not start until September 1st. So you have that time window to decide, and if you choose not to continue with that, again, there's no contracts or commitments for that. But that is the entire ecosystem, and everything plugged in and tied together, and linked in with whatever your CRM of choice would be as well. Great questions. I appreciate you all. Let's make it a great week, and I look forward to working with those of you who are interested in the accelerator program. I couldn't find the damn right. What? Whew. The day was too tight. Took too long on Kelly.
We should add to that is the slides to overcome objections, oh, I don't have a big database, or I don't, whatever that lady asked, right? Well, what if, whatever.
Okay, I got to come up with all of the what ifs and record a video, like a Loom video, that I can then also put into these are the most common questions.
Yeah, well, in their head, it's well, I don't have old seller leads, right? So this isn't going to work for me, right? What if I'm new to a market? What if I don't know anybody? What if all the whatever's in their head, which is the offer really is your goals, your business, your market, your assets, and then the plan. And that's why we do a one-on-one call. That's why we give you a playbook just for you.
Yeah.
And it's the leads. Oh, leads? You get leads.